It's been a few weeks since I made any videos, so I owe some content. The last videos were about dependency. I think I made 4 about dependencies, and you could have, the dependency on other things in your network. You could have dependency on basically abstraction layers, like the way tech stacks work. Like this is secure, and you've looked at this architectural drawing. I've got some tape on my finger, cut it. And yet this system seems secure, but it's built on other stuff underneath that isn't, which you weren't aware of, and therefore everything gets compromised from the bottom up. That kind of thing. You can have dependency issues based on a bad process that just circumvent all the controls that you've put in place. Or the last one that we mentioned was actually of services, managed services that are not providing what you thought they were providing. And very often that is actually a legal issue, or it's poorly defined in the contract. And that led me to mention we should do something about this kind of legal side of things, because very few security organizations, CISOs that I've met really look into the legal stuff, the contracts, for example, of the services that are being provided to them, or they maybe grasp the kind of technical knowledge, know-how to understand how it's affecting them, because some of these service deliver, like, this is not a service that would meet your needs, but a general kind of inability to read contracts well and to interpret them well, and I think that's a significant issue, and I think that applies both for services that you are purchasing to help your organization, but also to services that your organization is providing. Any kind of assurances that you have around security or SLAs or that kind of thing, you really should have a look at, because you could be doing a lot of work to help your company save money in terms of risk or efficiency. But if you have legal risks that make you liable to, breach of contract type of lawsuit that's going to cost you millions, then it's very quick. It doesn't take a whole lot to undermine whatever savings or risk improvements in terms of dollar value that you've brought to the organization. So really don't look in terms of looking at security from the holistic bottom line dollar value proposition. Don't overlook the legal consequences of your taking on or offering services. And that brings me to the General Counsel also, because I'm actually surprised how few security teams I see with good relationships with the legal team and the General Counsel. And I think anything that you're deploying services, selling a new product, new service, connecting things to partners, selling stuff, there's a lot of legal stuff at play. And quite often, like, you might want to do something, and I want to emphasize that because there's a genuine value to it, but the business is not fully understanding it, they're not fully grasping the cost savings, well, then you can argue, yeah, but if we don't do it, then we're running this legal risk. It's not just about, the threats and the risk of a breach, but there's a legal risk here that, if they interpret it this way, or if someone there looks at this a bit more carefully, that they're going to point out that we're not doing this, or we're not doing this in a way that could not be construed as negligent, and that side of things. So it's a good way of pressuring or creating some pressure, because the General Counsel tends to be quite high up, quite important on the senior leadership team, and have a lot of influence. It's a really, really good place to have a good relationship and drive some influence. So I think I'm just going to leave it there. One more point. Compliance. ISO, NIST style compliance to a security framework does not absolve you of liability. It is not an answer for basically being found negligent, because you can be compliant to something and still have elements of negligence. And I'm actually going to make a separate video of that. But yeah, just think about, legally, what are you offering? What are you absorbing? What are you consuming? And do you have good visibility to it? Is it kosher? And why aren't you leveraging the relationship with your General Counsel? That's just my tip for today.